What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I actually wanted to share with you guys a follow-up call that I had with a prospect. Pretty much on this call, it was a two-call close. What I did to frame the call was I did a recap of the first call, and I listed out all the pains that he had, which I call Hell Island. And then I also recapped his goals, which is Heaven Island, and he had some questions and some concerns about joining the program and actually making that investment. So this is me showcasing how I handled the concerns that he had. And this is really important because as a closer, if you don't know how to handle these objections, you're not going to make any money, right? Because you only make money when you close a deal. So it's really important to know how to handle these objections. It's really important to stay unattached and really come from a place of moral authority figure to actually help this guy out. I hope you find this helpful or useful in any way in your sales calls. And the biggest thing with objection handling is just knowing how to handle these objections, these uncertainty, financial, spouse objections so well, so that when they have these objections, you can just focus on being there and listening to them versus trying to figure out how to respond. And that only comes from really knowing your stuff inside out. So I hope you enjoy this sales call review, and see you in the next one. Hello. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, you too.
I like the hat. It's a nice
Yeah,
hat.
thanks, man.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I usually wear a hat.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you weren't wearing one during the call earlier, was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
looks good. Looks good, man. How's your weekend been the last couple of days?
It's been busy. I've been doing repairs on my work trucks and stuff.
During your
Um,
time off?
yeah, oh yeah,
Your five pressure days, you're still working on trucks and
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm always busy doing something, man.
wow. Okay, cool. Cool, man.
Yeah,
Um, so what I'd like to do, I just want to, because it's been a few days, I just want to recap the call that we had
yeah,
on Friday,
yeah.
and let me know if you have any questions. Okay.
Okay.
So when we spoke on Friday, you were saying currently right now, you're doing all the work. You went a month without doing work during Christmas. Um, you're unaware how to market properly. You have no employees. You're physically and mentally tired. You work 16 days right now, 12 hours per day. You're unsure. You're not sure where the money will come from all the time. Um, it's disheartening if nothing changes and you kept doing what you're doing now forever. And you're making 10K per month right now while you're doing all the work. Okay. And your goals were to be booked out. Oh, and you're booked out. Uh, you said you were booked out for March, right?
Well, I've got at least a month or two worth of work left,
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
and after that, it's an unknown.
It's an unknown, you said?
It's an unknown where
Yeah.
my next job's coming from.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Your goals are to be booked out 2 years. You want to get another truck. You want 5 employees so you can remove yourself from the business. Be home all the time because you live in hotels. You want to work on the business instead of in the business welding. You want to take weekends off, spend it with your family, and go dirt biking. Your savings are protected. You want knowledge on how to market your business properly. Go on a 7-day dirt bike trip to the Rocky Mountains with your family, Victoria, and your kid. You want confidence on knowing exactly where the money will come from, and you want financial freedom. You want to make 500 grand in profit the next 12 months with our help.
Yeah.
Does that kind of sum it all up for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah, so where do you want to go from here?
So I've done my own research and I talked to some people that I trust. that are in business, that are successful at business. I talked to my parents.
Oh, nice.
Um, I talked to a few people. I've got a big circle of friends. Um, I did write some points down that I wanted to bring up with you that I wanted to let you know
Okay.
and, and to ask you.
Okay. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. I'll do my best.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm very hesitant right now. I'm very skeptical.
Okay.
Um, what you said to me on the last interview was very convincing,
Okay.
and if everything you said is true, then that's awesome. Like it's phenomenal what you're offering. But unfortunately, my 49 years on this earth, if it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Everybody thinks it's a good idea. Everybody has advised me to be very careful
Okay.
because you guys don't have a storefront business in Calgary. I'm basically going by what you're telling me and taking that as truth. And
Yes,
you're
it's
all
true.
you're just a person on a screen telling.
That's could not be
So
more true.
yeah, and you're asking me to give you guys.
Yep.
You're a stranger asking me to give. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I can't do that unless you're willing to prove to me that you guys are legitimate and that
Okay.
and I think the only way you could do that is, and that would please me and convince me, is speaking to success stories in person. That'd be one way. Another thing that turned me off a lot was the pushy, aggressive sales tactics at the end of that interview. I was
Okay.
sold until that happened,
Okay.
and then when we had that interview, you talked about not taking money from a small business that's trying to get up and going, and then at the end you want right up front. And that kind of threw me off too.
Okay.
um, and another thing I'd like to know is, you guys guarantee money back if I'm not successful, but how do you guarantee that? How do you really
Okay.
guarantee that?
Okay.
And I just don't. I'm finding it really hard to be. I'm trying to be objective to this, and of course, everybody that I talk to, the one guy that I talked to, and he owns three businesses and he's very successful. He said he's used consulting firms before, and he used to be a consultant, and he
Yep.
thinks this is brilliant, and so do I. But I need to be convinced that
Yeah.
this is real before. And you know what? Like I'm going to be 100% honest with you. We talked about my finances and stuff, but I also didn't tell you that I need to go buy supplies before I go back up north,
Yep. Got it.
so I could do my job, and
Yep.
that my family needs money while I'm gone, and for me to give you it would or even right now it would put me in the red,
Okay.
and for me to do that, it wouldn't be very smart.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Are those the
but
questions?
that's everything that I've been thinking.
Okay.
I,
Awesome.
I wrote these things down so I could talk to you, because I respect you enough for gave me over an hour of your time.
And you gave me an hour of your time.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yep.
if everything you say is true, I'm all in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I don't know that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to just give you the facts, and you are free to make whatever decision you want. I'm not going to try and convince you. I'm just going to give you the facts.
yeah.
The first one you said about being too good to be true. I actually agree with you. It does sound way too good to be true. Um, so our prices are in US. So I'm just going to speak in US. It's if you made that on the day, which ends up being like, right? I think it's way too good to be true, and I think we should be charging $50,000 for it. Truthfully, that's my opinion, but I'm not the
Yeah.
owner. I don't get to pick the prices. Because we've implemented Landon, who's our client success manager, we're actually raising the price from to in February. Like that is cold hard truth. I think it's too cheap for what we offer. We're actually raising it. So in
Mhm.
terms of too good to be true, I agree with you. and it is the truth. And nowadays, I don't know you, you don't know me. We're literally speaking on Zoom. We've never even met in person. We probably never will. The internet could be literally the Wild West nowadays. There's so many opportunities. There's so many agencies or consulting firms. So many opportunities that sometimes we get like paralysis by analysis. What can I even trust? Like, how do I actually trust someone on the internet? So my best advice is I would only trust results. If do we have the results that we want? And if the answer is yes, that's the only thing I would trust. And have we delivered on that before? We've done it 300 times. And what I was even thinking while you were speaking was, if you don't believe me for whatever reason, I can schedule you a call with Amber, who's the owner, and he can give you like a list of all the people that we've worked with. But I don't think they might not pick up. It's not really worth your time. But we've done this 300 times, and you saw the reviews and testimonials, and we got way more. And truthfully, we spend more time, and this is like something that you should do in business as well. We spend way more time on the back end than our front end. So all those testimonials you saw on our website, that's from like years ago. Like, it actually truthfully hasn't been updated. There's a couple websites in there that our customers have changed. It doesn't even work because we focus way more on the back end, actually delivering results, than just like making our company look good on Google, because it looks good enough where people trust us and they start it, but they get amazing results because we focus so much of our time on the back end. In February, we're going to actually rebrand from TradeArc to contracting.com so that it's more like legitimate and we're the industry leading. We bought contracting.com for an insane amount of money. We've invested that so that we are the industry's best, just as if you would buy welding.com or like marketing.com. We bought contracting.com. I apologize if I pressured you. That was not my intent. What I do on these calls is, when you're telling me you're on the road, you're barely seeing your family, you're barely seeing your kid, you have all these hobbies and aspirations, and you're not achieving it, like I take it personally. Like I like sit up on the edge of my chair, and I try and be like people's rock on these calls, because if I can't hold them accountable, and if I can't get them to push themselves out of their comfort zone, typically it'll never happen, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure that I personally feel that I left everything on the table for me to try and help you make the right decision. So that when I go to sleep, I don't go, oh, like I could have asked him one more question. Oh, like I really could have made a difference in Kyle's life. Yeah. I don't want to feel like that. So I try and leave everything on the table. So if that landed like it was pressuring, I do apologize. I hate being pressured. I hate sales. Like I'm a salesperson. I hate being sold to. I try and give you I try and ask the right questions. I try and give you the facts, and if it makes sense, you are more than smart enough to make the right decisions. So I apologize on that part. And the only way for you to know if this is true is for you to actually come in and check for yourself. So like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it, we have a 14-day refund policy. And it's written, like, if you want to work with us, I'm going to walk you through our consulting agreement, which is meant to protect you and protect us from you, and from you to protect yourself from us, written by a lawyer. And we have a 14-day return policy, contingent on that you've actually saw some videos, you showed up on the coaching calls, you asked some questions. You'll know in the first 2 weeks if we're a bunch of bozos or not. It'll be very clear in the first 2 weeks if we can actually help you with these results. And if you think we can, it'll be very clear. We'll work together. And if you feel like it's a bunch of bozos and it won't work, you just send us an email so that we have written proof that you want your money back, and we just immediately send it back to you. Because I mean, like, we don't want to keep your money if you don't want to be here.
So the two things that I'm thinking about right now, because I don't have the money to give you.
That's okay. Money aside, I don't want. I just want your trust before I get anything like that.
Yeah, and I don't understand why you need all the money up front. Like, why couldn't I give you some money over time? Like,
yeah, I said on this call we can talk about payment plans. I was totally
yeah. Like I'm totally game to give you $1,000 right now.
The lowest we can do is break it up into 4 payments.
Yeah.
That's truthfully the lowest we can go. And
yeah. Okay.
Which would be.
And you know what? I considered that too. There was something else I was going to ask you too. Yeah, I can't remember what it is now. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah, I could probably afford to do 4 payments.
That's the lowest we can do. I would like. I mean, if it was my business, I would go. Let's go 1,000 a month for months. But it's like, man, like that's gonna take you forever to pay off. I don't think you'd
No,
want
you know
that.
what? And I don't really want to go. Like I would pay it off sooner than that. It's just right now with my situation. Like the end of February, remember I was telling you that my situation is going to be way different.
Yeah, well, and like the idea is, Kyle, that we help you book your schedule, implement structures to collect deposits, so that like we want people to feel like they got a steal working with us. We actually have one of our customers, Jackson,
Yeah.
and he worked with us for a year. And you know what he told us the other day?
What's that?
Is your kid around by any chance?
Yeah, he's upstairs with his mom. They just had a bath.
Okay. I was gonna say this is word for word what he said. I
Yeah.
feel like I fucking robbed you guys of value because I spent dollars and doubled my business. That's literally what he said word for word. I didn't want to
Well,
swear in front of the kid.
you know what, Joe, and I'm I I've been scammed before, and it's the worst feeling in the world. So the only thing that's holding me back right now is those times that I had the wool pulled over my eyes.
What
You
did you
know what
get?
I mean?
What did you get scammed by?
Well, it was stupid. It was an online scam, and I'm not really going to get into it. It's all good. Actually, twice I did, and it was cryptocurrency, and there was a middleman, and got me to invest money and took the money.
Okay, we're a consulting firm about your business.
No, no, I know, I know, I know. But
um,
also the thing that scares me, and that's been brought up my by my parents and a few people. There's nothing stopping you guys if you wanted to take my money and then just go black.
I mean, fair enough, but dollars. We worked with contractors, so we've processed 2.34 million USD. If we did that and we didn't deliver results, like we live in an age where if that happened, we would be all over the internet and we would
Yeah.
probably be in jail.
Well, I'm sold on this, Joe, or else I wouldn't even be talking about a payment plan with you, or I wouldn't even this conversation wouldn't still be happening.
Yeah,
So
I respect. I know. I
I'm gonna put
respect
my
you.
trust in you.
Well, I just want to say before you say that and do that, I just want to like I've been scammed before. I've paid for. I've done a lot of. I don't know if you can tell. I've done a lot of personal development. Do you know who Tony Robbins is?
Hmm.
Yeah, I did Tony Robbins. I've done a bunch of other personal development courses.
Yeah.
I paid for like a course for 2 grand USD. Thought it would work, didn't work. Like I've paid for things and it didn't work in the past too. I didn't get scammed by crypto, but I've paid for things and it didn't work out. Didn't get my money back.
Yeah.
Now there's
Yeah.
two ways you can look at that, Kyle. You can go, I've been burned before. I'm never gonna invest in anything. That's it. That's like a final straw. I don't want any help. I don't want to be burned again. Or you can look at it, and it's just a choice. You can look at it as that was the tuition I needed to pay being burned so that I can make
Uh,
better decisions moving forward. That's just the price I had to pay. And
it's a good,
had
and then you know what? That's how my mode of thinking is. I
and
always try and get a positive out of a negative.
Kyle, had you not been scammed by crypto, you wouldn't be this thorough, and you're not going to be like, you're going to be thorough for the rest of your life when you're making business decisions. So
Yeah.
that I don't know how much money you lost in that, but that is the tuition you had to pay to be thorough that this is legit,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I mean that's all I can say really.
I'm excited to work with you guys, and I think this is brilliant as well, and I'm willing to put the work in. If I'm going to pay
That's the
money,
biggest thing.
I'm going to put 100% of my effort into this to make this work, and I'm probably going to see results before I even have the full 10,000 paid.
Probably you should.
That's what I'm
If
feeling.
you do the work, you should. And we're also going to show you what it looks like if you put minimal effort, if you put no like the average effort of the people that we work with, and like what it looks like to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like if you really want 500K in profit and you double your workload, like in terms of like investing and like learning these things, like you can get that in like a fraction of the time. But it's like, do you want it to happen in 12 months, 16 months, 6 months? It's up to you. We will work
Well,
at the
so
pace that you're working at.
yeah. Well, me working out of town and being by myself is I have nothing but time to invest.
Mm.
So I'm going to be living in camp and I'm going to be working my 12-hour shift. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to be going through your information and working with you guys.
Yeah. And I just want to say, Kyle, I feel very humbled that you gave us the opportunity to regain your trust, not just in us, but like investing in yourself in general.
Mm.
And we really don't take it lightly when it comes to things like this.
I understand the whole concept behind needing mentorship to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
I understand that concept because I overcame drug addiction when I was younger.
Wow.
And I had a mentor to help me walk me through that time in my life. And I couldn't have done it without him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So now I mentor guys that are going through it as well.
Wow.
So I understand the concept of if you want to be better, you need to surround yourself with better people.
Yeah.
So I'm all in. If you could do $4 payments,
Yeah. It'll be, well, it's in US, so it'd be divided by 4, which would be USD. So it'd end up being like,
yeah,
and then there's Calgary tax, whatever that ends up being.
yeah,
And then it's a complete tax write off. Um, and then you should make more money than that in the next 30 days.
yeah.
Okay. Ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man.